Greetings viewers. Today I've got a video of a pair of Australian Holden touring cars from the Group C era. One from 1976 and one from 1984. One was driven by a pair of legendary Formula One drivers, Stirling and Australian three-time world champion Jack Brabham. And the other vehicle is from 1984, and it was raced by a great Australian privateer by the name of Warren Cullen, and 1980 world champion Formula One driver Alan Jones. The first vehicle I have is this Biante 118 model. It's a Holden LH Torana L34. Yeah, it was driven by the legendary drivers, as I mentioned in the intro, Stirling and Sir Jack Brabham. It was unfortunately involved in an accident on the start line where it was rear-ended by a Triumph Dolomite. I think from memory, from what I read, they managed to patch up the car so both Jack and Stirling would get to do some laps of Mount Panorama at Bathurst because the publicity of it would have been a big deal on the news back in the day, I'd imagine. Got a mix of sponsors from Repco, 2SM, Blues Union, First National Travellers Checks, Recaro, Gerlock Brakes, Ampol, Goodyear, General Metrics cams, perhaps. Yeah. K-Max suspension. Pretty well detailed underneath. As you see, it is of course a fully opening Diecast 118 with the Holden 308 motor with a pair of side draft Weber carburetors mounted on top of the intake manifold. Runs a full interior, has carpet, passenger seats, full door trims, door handles. Has an alloy roll cage, which would be considered quite flimsy today. And it has a whopping great fuel tank installed in the boot. can get a bit of a look at it going around the turntable. As you see, it's wearing the number 17, which would become quite famous as Dick Johnson's number. He'd first run it at Bathurst. A couple of years after this, in 1978, in 1977, another Torana, but of the A9X variety, ran the number 17. So Dick would have to wait another year to adopt that number for his race number at Bathurst. And it's still the number that Dick Johnson Racing uses to this day. But anyway, enough of that, of course. Getting back to this car. As you see, it's quite a nice looking model. I'll shut the doors. Tour Sam, of course, was a Sydney radio station which still operates today. Also sponsored by Oranger, who made alloy mag wheels, and they made different accessories for your vehicle, from windscreen louvers and whatnot. It's quite good to see Repco sponsoring this particular vehicle, because some of Jack Brabham's vehicles were powered by Repco engines, so it's a good return sponsor for Jack. Next up, we've got this Holden VK Commodore. This model's by Classic Collectibles. They called the Holden dealer team Commodores the last of the big bangers, but I think this applies to the other cars that were racing at Bathurst that year, the big flares, the big boot spoilers and front air dams. I mean, those big boot spoilers may or may not have been great aerodynamically, but this was driven by long-time privateer Warren Cullen, who had the Settlement Road Auto Wreckers, I believe. That was his business. Main sponsorship from Kmart Auto, Eveready Batteries, ROH Wheels, Avon Tyres, Stefan Shampoo, (9:27 a.m) and of course he was joined by 1980 Australian World Drivers Champion Alan Jones. This vehicle was also sponsored by SAS, who were an Australian company that made sports and racing seats, sports steering wheels. As you see, it's got the back seat, the lovely blue door trims and dashboard. It's got a pretty well detailed motor of what you can see of it, but this engine cover's not removable. Well, it's a air intake. The air came in under the bonnet, under the bonnet, and it'd go into the carburetor. It's got a regular passenger seat. Oh no, it's got another SAS seat, this one. Fire extinguisher in there. It's got these great wheel covers. I bought this one off TVSN, or the TV shopping network. I seen it on a Diecast show that they broadcast. I don't know whether they still do them, but from time to time on their website you will see 118 Diecast for sale, and this was one of them. And when you purchase off them, you can pay it off in, I think, 3 or 4 installments, depending on the cost of the model that you're getting. So that's how I got this one. It's the only vehicle I bought off TVSN. Okay, it begins its laps. I didn't show inside the boot, but there's the fuel fillers, the top of the fuel tank. It was filled by fuel churns through the top of the boot lid there, and it had a drop tank under the vehicle, although this one doesn't look too substantial. It's all under the rear bumper, not as prominent on the VK, but it definitely would have had a huge fuel tank under the floor, or going up towards the floor. Okay, I'll let this one go for a couple of laps so you can see it in all its glory with the doors, bonnet and boot shut. Yeah, it's quite a nice looking model, I think. The the red, white and blue. Great old sponsors, Kmart, Steffen's Shampoo, Avon Tyres, ROH Wheels, Kmart Auto, Eveready Batteries, SAS, well, this concludes this video of the 118 Holden Torana LH L34 Torana of Stirling Moss and Jack Brabham from 1976 Bathurst, and the 1984 Bathurst Holden VK Commodore of Warren Cullen and Alan Jones. Okay. Well, thanks for viewing. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll look forward to putting out another video for you again soon. Goodbye.